Good morning, students. In previous class, that is class 1 of the chapter chemical bonding, I already completed. What do you mean by chemical bond? What are the criteria for the formation of a chemical bond? Types of chemical bond, that is ionic or electrovalent bond, covalent bond, and one special case of covalent bond, that is coordinate covalent bond or dative bond. Their condition, formation of the bond, characteristics of bond, and some examples. That means, I recap again. What are the conditions for the formation of ionic bond or electrovalent bond? That is, low ionization energy, point 2, high electron affinity, and point 3, high lattice energy. I repeat again, the three necessary conditions for the formation of ionic bond. Point 1, low ionization energy. Point 2, high electron affinity. And point 3, that is high lattice energy. Similarly, what are the condition criteria for the formation of covalent bond? Similarly, 3 to 4 points are there. Point 1, high ionization energy. Point 2, equal electron affinity. Point 3, equal electronegativity. Mark that, I write this one. Point 1, factors favorable for the formation of covalent bond. That is, point 1, high ionization energy. Point 2, equal electron affinity. Point 3, equal electronegativity. High ionization energy, equal electron affinity, equal electronegativity, and the number of valence electron. Fourth one is number of valence electron. That means the two combining species, the two atoms belongs to group 5, 6 or 7. That means they contain 5, 6, 7 number of unpaired electron, as a result of which they are able to share the electron. These are the necessary conditions for the formation of covalent bond. I repeat again, if there is equal sharing resulting the formation of a covalent bond, if unequal sharing resulting the formation of a special type of covalent bond, that is coordinate covalent bond or dative bond. So today, that is the class 2 for the chapter chemical bonding. I will try to focus some points, that is valency bond theory of a covalent bond on orbital approach. That is types of covalent bond depending upon the orbital approach, that is sigma bond and pi bond. Then difference between sigma bond and pi bond. Then some bond parameter, that is bond length, bond angle, bond energy. How you calculate, we will discuss later. And also polar covalent bond, non-polar covalent bond. Next, ionic character in covalent bond and covalent character in ionic bond. So let us discuss one by one. First one is the valency bond theory of covalent bond in orbital approach. Mark that. Today, first topic is valency bond theory. Valency bond theory for covalent bond on the basis of orbital approach. On the basis, this valency bond theory is on the basis of orbital approach. So what do we mean by covalent bond on the basis of orbital approach? That is, listen the important thing. First we discuss one by one, try to understand, then we start writing. Never write it now. Listen carefully. That means, what do we mean by the covalent bond on this approach? That is, overlapping of atomic orbital. A covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of atomic orbital of two atoms containing unpaired electron in opposite spin. The most important thing is that the bond strength depends upon the extent of overlapping. That means, higher the extent of overlapping, stronger is the bond strength. On the basis of overlapping, it has been observed that there are two types of overlapping. One is axial overlapping. Overlapping takes place in the internuclear axis. And one is sidewise overlapping. That is, overlapping takes place perpendicular to the internuclear axis. So, on that basis, there are two types of covalent bond. One is sigma bond and one is pi bond. Overlapping takes place along internuclear axis, known as sigma bond. Overlapping takes place sidewise above and below the internuclear axis, known as pi bond. Mark that two type of bond are there. One is known as axial overlapping. Axial overlapping resulting the formation of sigma bond. Sigma bond represented by the symbol this one, and that is, this overlapping takes place along the internuclear axis. Another one is sidewise overlapping. Sidewise overlapping resulting the formation of a pi bond. Symbol is this one. So it is overlapping takes place above and below the internuclear axis. Internuclear axis. Try to understand, not worry about writing. First, we discuss this one, go through the concept, then we write later on. So, two type of overlapping is there. One is axial overlapping and one is sidewise overlapping. So, let us discuss one by one. What do we mean by axial overlapping, or what is sigma bond and what is pi bond? First we discuss the formation of sigma bond. That means axial overlapping. Mark that. It is point one, that is formation of hydrogen molecule. Formation of, never write anything, only try to understand, then we write one by one. Formation of hydrogen molecule. We know hydrogen atom, H, atomic number 1, electronic configuration 1s1, only one s orbital is there. Mark that. S orbital, it is 1s, and another one s orbital, it is also 1s. When they overlap axially, it is internuclear axis, When they overlap, mark that this is overlapping is along the internuclear axis. So, resulting the formation of hydrogen molecule. It is known as SS overlapping. Remember that this sigma bond, that is axial overlapping, carried out point 1 by SS overlapping, point 2 by SP overlapping, and point 3 by PP overlapping. Let us discuss one by one. That is known as SS overlapping. For example, formation of hydrogen molecule. S orbital, then overlap. This is the extent of overlapping along the this is known as internuclear axis. So resulting the formation of SS overlapping. Next switch over to second one is SP overlapping. Suitable example is formation of hydrogen fluoride. Next, we discuss the second type of overlapping, that is known as SP overlapping. Suitable example, formation of HF molecule. Formation of HF molecule, that is SP overlapping. Mark that. Suitable example is HF H 1s1, so it is known as 1s1, 1s atom. Next, fluorine, atomic number 9, mark that. Electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2px, 2py, 2pz, mark that. 1s2, 2s2, 2px2, 2py1, 2pz1, 1s2, 2s2, 2px2, 2py2, 2pz1. So only one unpaired electron is there in Z1. So mark that. This one is known as S orbital and it is known as 2pz1. Mark that. S orbital, P orbital, overlapping head-on, resulting the formation of, this is known as extent of overlapping. It is S orbital, it is a P orbital. Mark that, along the internuclear axis. As a result of overlapping, the orbital diagram looks like this is known as SP overlapping. Suitable example, that is a formation of HF molecule. So point 1 over, that is SS overlapping. Point 2, that is HSP overlapping. Then switch over to third one, that is a PP overlapping. For that, we have to select another one example, that is formation of fluorine molecule. Mark that. Third one is formation of fluorine molecule. Mark that. Next example, formation of fluorine molecule. That is, it is known as PP overlapping. PP overlapping. Mark that of fluorine. Just before we go through the electronic configuration, fluorine atom has only one unpaired electron, that is 2pz1. Mark that. It is 2pz1 orbital, it is the internuclear axis. Another one, that is plus 2pz1. This is the 2pz1 atomic orbital, 2pz1 atomic orbital overlap. Mark the overlapping picture. This is carried out along the internuclear axis. Mark that. This is known as the extent of overlapping. It is known as a PP overlapping. After this one, mark that, the diagram. This is the form. It is the internuclear axis. It is known as PP overlapping. So head-on overlapping resulting the formation of strong bond, that is sigma bond, is carried out by either SS overlapping or SP overlapping or PP overlapping. For explaining it, we select for SS, that is hydrogen molecule, formation of hydrogen molecule. For SP, we select formation of HF molecule. And for the PP overlapping, we select formation of fluorine molecule. These three comes under the front-wise overlapping, head-on overlapping, axial overlapping, resulting in the formation of strong bond known as sigma bond. Next, switch over to sidewise overlapping. Means overlapping takes place above and below the internuclear axis. That means overlapping takes place perpendicular to the internuclear axis. That is known as sidewise overlapping or weak bond, which is known as a pi bond. And this type of overlapping is carried out only in case of PP overlapping. In case of sigma, it is SS, SP, PP, but in case of pi, only PP overlapping takes place. Let us verify with giving some examples. Next we discuss about, that is sidewise overlapping or resulting the formation of a pi bond. Next we discuss, that is sidewise overlapping resulting the formation of pi bond. Resulting the formation of pi bond, it is carried out only PP overlapping. Mark that. I repeat again, this type of overlapping carried out above and below the internuclear axis, which is carried out perpendicular to the internuclear axis. Mark that. It is pz orbital, it is pz orbital. Mark that. When the two pz orbital each containing unpaired electron, then try to overlap, resulting the formation of a sidewise overlapping, resulting the formation of a pi bond. Let us verify what happened. In this case, when these two orbital comes nearer to each other, what happened? Mark that. This is the extent of overlapping, and this extent of overlapping is a minimum one. That's why it is known as a weak bond. So after that, it's the internuclear axis. Mark the orbital approach. This is known as the orbital approach after sidewise overlapping. So in order to clarify this one, let us select few examples like sigma bond. Let us select few examples how the pi bond is formed. For this, we have to select two examples. One is oxygen molecule and one is fluorine molecule. Mark that. We select one by one. First, we select, that is a formation of oxygen molecule. First we select formation of oxygen molecule, then we select formation of nitrogen molecule. Mark that. First one, formation of oxygen molecule. I request all of you again, only visualize this one, try to go through the concept, try to understand, then only we write. So mark that. First one, formation of oxygen molecule, it is known as O2. Two oxygen atom. So first one, oxygen, atom number 8, 1s2, 2s2, 2px2, 2py1, 2pz1. Mark that. Two unpaired electron is there. one is 2py1 and one is 2pz1. Mark that. It is 2py1, it is one electron, it is one electron. It is known as 2py1, it is known as 2pz1. It is the internuclear axis. Another one also, it is another one oxygen atom. It is one oxygen atom having two unpaired electron, 2p1, 2pz1. It is another oxygen atom having two unpaired electron. One is similarly to the internuclear axis. It is known as 2py1. It is known as 2pz1. Mark that. What happened? Remember that before formation of a covalent bond, there must be one formation of a sigma bond. Mark that. So what happened when they overlap with each other? Then there is overlapping. One is head-on overlapping and one is sidewise overlapping. Mark that. One is head-on overlapping. It is oxygen atom. It is oxygen atom. This overlap, head-on overlapping, resulting in the formation of a sigma bond. And this one, that is above and below the internuclear axis, perpendicular to the internuclear axis, resulting in the formation, it is a sigma bond. It is known as a pi bond. Above and below equivalent to one pi bond. So resulting in the formation of two bond. One is a sigma bond and one is a pi bond, resulting in the formation of oxygen molecule. I repeat again, sigma bond is a single bond. If it is a double bond is there, then one sigma, one pi. If it is a triple bond is there, then one sigma, two pi. So it is concluded that before the formation of single formation of pi bond is not possible. Before the formation of a pi bond, a sigma bond must be there. So mark that. Here is one sigma, one pi. Sigma bond is formed by the head-on overlapping and pi bond is formed by the sidewise overlapping. It is for the formation of oxygen molecule. Next, switch over to formation of nitrogen molecule. Another one example, that is formation of nitrogen molecule. Mark that. Next example is, second example, that is formation of nitrogen molecule. The symbol is N2. Mark that. We know nitrogen, atomic number 7, electronic configuration. What is the electronic configuration? That is 1s2, 2s2, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1, 2, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here 3 unpaired electrons are there. So 3 orbitals containing one electron. Mark that. It is px, py, pz. It is px, py, pz. Px, py, pz. Each one orbital containing one unpaired electron. It is 3p orbital of nitrogen atom, one nitrogen atom. It is px, py, pz of another nitrogen atom. So when what happened? Mark that. Here what type of orbital overlapping? This one is known as head-on overlapping, resulting in the formation of sigma bond, while py and py, mark that, py and py sidewise overlapping, resulting in the formation of pi bond, and pz and pz, mark that, pz and pz. I repeat again, px, that is head-on overlapping, resulting in the formation of sigma bond, py, above the plane and below the plane, resulting in the formation of pi bond, pz, above the internuclear axis, below the internuclear axis, resulting in the formation of another pi bond. So as a result of which what happened? One nitrogen atom, 3 bond is there, one bond is known as sigma and another 2 bond is known as pi, resulting in the formation of nitrogen molecule. So in fluorine molecule, already completed, in fluorine molecule single bond is there, sigma bond. In oxygen molecule 2 single bond is there, that is 1 sigma, 1 pi. In nitrogen molecule 3 single bond is there, that is 1 sigma and 2 pi. That means by the head-on overlapping resulting in the formation of greater extent of overlapping strong bond known as sigma bond. While sidewise overlapping, that means above and below the internuclear axis, that is perpendicular to the internuclear axis, resulting in the formation of pi bond. It is a little idea about sigma bond and pi bond, types of sigma bond, how it is formed, and types of, that is, what are the different way of overlapping resulting in the formation of sigma bond and also pi bond. Next we discuss the difference, very important 2-mark question. Distinguish between difference between sigma bond and pi bond. 2-mark question, minimum 3 to 4 points is there. Mark that. We have to go through left side sigma bond, right side pi bond. Recall 1 or 2 point. Point 1, it is head-on overlapping. Point 1, it is sidewise overlapping. Not worry, listen first, then we write one by one. Point 1, head-on overlapping. Point 1, sidewise overlapping. Point 2, greater extent of overlapping is maximum, extent of overlapping is minimum. Point 3, overlapping takes place along the internuclear axis, overlapping takes place above and below the internuclear axis. Next point, sigma bond, it is a strong bond. Next, it is a weak bond. Last point, the most important point is there. Mark that, it is a sigma bond. Okay, so if orbital is there, I repeat again, mark that. The most important last point is there. Mark that. It is the sigma bond. It is the sigma bond. Mark that. It is the internuclear axis. It is the internuclear axis. It is the internuclear axis. So what happened? Mark that. Suppose one tomato or potato, okay, or orange. Then collect one orange and one string or a stick, immerse inside it, then rotate that orange or apple. Is it is movable around this rod? Yes. That means we say that free rotation is possible. If it is a bulb is there, then free rotation around the internuclear axis is there. But in case of a pi bond, mark that, if it is orbital overlapping, that is sidewise, resulting in the formation of pi bond, mark that, above the internuclear axis, above and below. So free rotation is not possible. The important thing is that in case of sigma bond, free rotation around the internuclear axis takes place, while in case of pi bond, free rotation does not take place. It is the main important points to distinguish between sigma bond and pi bond. Next we discuss the bond parameter. What is a bond parameter? 2 to 3 point is there. Bond length. Mark that. 2 atom is there, that is a covalently bonded. It is A, it is a B. Mark the join of the center of the 2 atom bonded by covalent bond. It is known as the bond length. The first parameter, that is bond length. Second parameter, that is bond angle. Third parameter, that is bond order. Mark that. Nitrogen, triple bond nitrogen, oxygen, double bond oxygen, hydrogen, single bond hydrogen. That is the number of covalent bond formed between the 2 atoms in a molecule is known as the bond order. So bond order for hydrogen molecule is 1, bond order for oxygen molecule is 2, bond order for nitrogen molecule is 3. Next one is bond energy. Bond energy, that is the amount of energy required to break 1 mole of a particular type of a bond is known as its bond energy. I repeat again. Try to understand, listen only, we write next. What is bond energy? The amount of energy required to break 1 mole of a particular type of bond is known as bond energy. So among them, these are known as bond parameter. bond length, bond angle, bond order, and bond energy. From this, it is clear that higher is the bond length, lower is the bond strength. Point 2, higher is the bond order, lower is the bond length, and higher is the bond strength. I repeat again, mark that bond length and bond strength is related as higher is the bond length, lower is the bond strength. Point 2, higher is the number of bond, means higher is the bond order, lower is the bond length, means strength, higher is the bond strength, and higher is the bond energy. These are some, that is parameter: bond length, bond angle, bond order, then bond energy. Last point is there, that is polar covalent bond and non-polar covalent bond. Mark that. If you select HH, OO, FF, NN, that is similar homoatomic molecule, there is no difference in electronegativity. As a result of which, the shared pair of electrons remain fixed position in between the two bonded atoms. So, there is no difference in electron density. That is known as non-polar covalent bond. On the other hand, if heteroatomic is there, difference in electronegativity is there, that is HCl, HF, HN, then what happens? The species, the atom which possesses higher electronegativity, withdraw the electron pair, shared pair of electron. That means electron density is disturbed, as a result of which there is the development of partial positive and negative character. Mark that. If we select HH, then the shared pair of electron or electron density remain as such, resulting in the formation of non-polar covalent bond or non-polar molecule. On the other hand, if we select HF, as fluorine possesses higher electronegativity, so electron density somewhat withdraw towards fluorine and a little bit maximum towards fluorine, resulting in the formation of partial negative and partial positive. So we say that this type of bond is known as polar covalent bond. So conclusion, what is the conclusion? If homoatomic molecule, electronegativity difference 0, resulting in the formation non-polar covalent bond. If heteroatom is there, there is a difference in electronegativity. Higher the difference in electronegativity, higher the development of polarity. So we say that is known as a polar covalent bond. And last one, remember that no ionic or covalent is 100% ionic or 100% covalent. In ionic bond, there is also percentage of covalent character. In covalent bond also, there is a percentage of ionic character. We discuss now one by one. Ready? Concept is clear? So ready for writing the definition part one by one. Note down the definition part, mark that. Valence bond theory of covalent bond in terms of orbital overlap concept. What is covalent bond? A covalent bond is formed by the partial overlap of two half-filled atomic orbitals containing electrons with opposite spin. Already this one we discussed, mark that. A covalent bond is formed by the partial overlap of two half-filled atomic orbitals containing electrons with opposite spin. Again, the strength of the bond depends upon the extent of overlapping. Higher the extent of overlapping, stronger is the bond. So depending upon the extent of overlapping, there are two types of bond, that is types of covalent bond. One is sigma bond, one is pi bond. Discuss one by one. First is sigma bond. What is sigma bond? Mark that. When a bond is formed between two atoms by overlap of their atomic orbitals along the internuclear axis, then this type of bond is known as a sigma bond. If above and below the internuclear axis, this type of bond is known as a pi bond. Mark that under the sigma bond, there are three types of overlapping: SS overlapping, SP overlapping, and PP overlapping. First is SS overlapping. Let us consider the formation of H2 molecule. That is 1s orbital of hydrogen atom, 1s orbital of hydrogen atom. When they undergo the axial overlapping along the axis, it is SS overlapping along the internuclear axis, resulting in the formation of H2 molecule. Move to the second part, that is SP overlapping. That means the suitable example is formation of HF molecule. It is H, 1s1, that is S atomic orbital. It is F, that is 2pz1. So P, 2pz1 orbital of fluorine atom. When they overlap, that is known as SS overlapping along the internuclear axis, resulting in the formation of molecular orbital of HF. One lobe, it is known as a lobe. One lobe higher size, another lobe lower size. Last one is PP overlapping, that is formation of F2 molecule. One is 2pz orbital of fluorine atom, another one 2pz orbital of fluorine atom. When it is overlapping, known as a PP overlapping along the internuclear axis, resulting in the formation of molecular orbital of fluorine. It is the type of sigma bond. Next, form the sidewise overlapping or lateral overlapping, that is formation of pi bond. What is this? It is formed by the sidewise or lateral overlapping of p orbital. That is, by the overlapping of p orbitals in a direction at a right angle to the internuclear axis, resulting in the formation of a pi bond. Mark that. It is a 2pz p orbital. It is a p orbital overlap above the plane and below the plane, resulting in the formation of structure. It is all about the types of sigma bond and pi bond. Next we switch over to the very important 2-mark question, that is the difference between sigma bond and pi bond, then go through the bond parameter. Next we discuss the difference between sigma bond and pi bond. Mark that, note down. Comparison of sigma and pi bond. Left side is the sigma bond, right side is the pi bond. Mark that. This bond is formed by the overlapping of orbital along the internuclear axis. This type of bond formed by the sidewise overlapping, otherwise known as a lateral overlapping. Next one, this type of overlapping takes place between SS, SP and PP orbitals, while this type of overlapping takes place only PP orbitals. Move to the next point. Overlapping is quite large, and bond is strong bond, while pi bond overlapping is quite less. Overlapping is a small extent, hence it is a weak bond. Next one, electron cloud is symmetrical around the internuclear axis, while electrical cloud, that is electron cloud, is not symmetrical. Mark that. It consists of only one electron cloud. It consists of two electron cloud. One is above the plane, one is below the plane. It consists of two electron cloud, one above the plane of atomic nuclei, while another one is below it. And the last important point is there, free rotation about the sigma bond is possible, while free rotation about the pi bond is not possible. This is the most important difference between sigma bond and pi bond. Next we switch over. First one is some bond characteristics. Mark that. First one is bond length. What do we know bond length? The equilibrium distance between the center of the nuclei of the two bonded atoms is known as the bond length. Mark that. If two bonded atoms is there, then join the center, this one is known as the bond length. Then move to what are the factors affecting. One is the size of the atom. Larger is the size of the atom, larger is the bond length. So mark there, for example, Hi greater than HBr greater than HCl greater than HF. Higher the bond, that is size of the atom, then the higher the bond length. Next one is multiplicity of the bond. That means higher is the number of a bond formed, that is the closest approach, so lower is the bond length. For example, single bond is a higher bond length, next double bond, next triple bond. Second parameter is bond energy. Already we discussed the amount of energy, that is the amount of energy required to break 1 mole of a bond of a particular type so as to separate them into gaseous atom is known as the bond energy. So what are the factors affecting? One is the size of the atom, That means higher is the size of atom, then lower the bond energy. And one is a multiplicity of the bond. That means higher is the number of a bond, stronger is the bond energy is higher. For example, H is a single bond, less than double bond, less than triple bond. Next one is bond angle. The angle between the line representing the direction of the bond is known as the bond angle. And last parameter, that is a bond order. In the Lewis representation of a molecular ion, the number of bonds present between the two atoms is known as its bond order. That means in case of hydrogen molecule, it is H single bond H, so it is known as a bond order is 1. In case of oxygen, O double bond O, that is bond order is 2. In case of nitrogen, that is N triple bond N, bond order is 3. And last one is, that means higher the bond order, stronger is the bond strength, higher is the bond energy. Higher is the bond energy, lower is the bond length. It is all about the characteristics of bond parameter.